Most websites only convert 1 or 2% of their traffic into leads. That's not good. And while we routinely help clients improve those numbers, it's not always a quick and easy process. Today, I'll be sharing how you can quickly and easily identify the 99% of traffic that's not converting and turn it into leads that you can act on. Let's get into it.
First things first, you need to have some sort of traffic identification tool. There's a few really good ones on the market. The one I'm using for the purposes of this video is Clearbit. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this companies tab here. I have some filtered data. What this is showing me all the different companies that have visited our website based on their IP addresses. I'm going to actually click on this B2B traffic. This has some specific filters, like it's filtering down to the United States, a certain size, so on and so forth. So these are, very qualified opportunities. You'll see even us show up here as a hit. A lot of other companies on here that show. So I'm going to go ahead and go up here to the top right. I'm going to download this as a CSV. Really, the only thing that I want to do for this is just export the name, domain, employees range, state. That's pretty much it. So I'm going to click begin export, and it's going to take a minute to do this export. Clay is a data enrichment and AI tool. It is extremely helpful in a number of different ways. I'm going to show you how we kind of take the anonymous company traffic that we just pull out of Clearbit and then plug it into Clay. So I'm going to actually go in here. I'm going to click new table. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to import that we have downloaded here. We are going to drag this in. Click continue. We're going to make it a new table just so we know all of the different companies that have filled this out. We have the number of company employees, companies, they're going to be more in our range. All right, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to industry field. So we'll click this, save, and run the first 10 rows. You'll see this is giving us like an enriched LinkedIn profile for each of these companies. I'm going to do this, and we are going to run it for the remainder of our rows. So while this is running on these rows, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in another enrichment. So I'm going to add in the description of these companies. We're going to use the LinkedIn enrichment that we just here. We're going to add a field and we're going to add in the description. I'm going to add in the description for these. So while this is running, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this Find People tab. So Find People tab, what this is going to do is it's going to review the companies that we have added into this sheet, and then it's going to find people that are related to those companies that fit certain criteria. So for us, we're looking for marketing personnel. So it could be a marketing manager, it could be a VP, it could be a director. Basically, people in that category are the type of people that would seek out or engage with them. Just do a right people. So I'm going to do manager, VP, and director level. Generally speaking, for larger companies, we're not engaging with the owner, partner, C-suite typically. Sometimes that varies, but for us, it's usually not that. Then I'm also just going to add in marketing into the job title. Location, I want to make sure that we're pulling people from the United States. I'm just going to click preview people here, and this will show us what our initial results are. 500 or so companies. We have now created a list of 2,500 people that all meet our criteria of who we would potentially want to engage with, right? So I'm going to click import, and I'm going to import, for the purposes of this, the basic profile. So now we can see this running here. It's going to give us their basic LinkedIn profile information. So this links to their individual LinkedIn profile. We have their company information, all that in here, company domain. So very quickly, within 10 minutes, I've been able to take a list of people who visited our website, right? So they're already kind of warm because they've been checking us out. Take that company, put it into this tool. Now I've taken it and spit out a whole bunch of targeted individuals that I can reach out to, right? So the last step that we want to do is we want to enrich this data, and we want to enrich it using a couple automations here to find their work email. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go to work email. And for me, I remove a few of these because one, each one of these cost credits to run. Two, what I have found through testing is that these three here tend to find the majority of emails when run. So I don't really usually need to run all 5 of those to find my emails. So we're going to just make sure this field gets linked up to full name. We're going to have company domain here selected. Then we're going to click save and run the first 10 rows. So now what it's going to do over here is it's going to run some automations to find the email addresses for these individuals. When it validates the email address, it's going to put it over here on the right-hand side and basically let us know that the email was found. And you can see when this one misses one, this one's catching it, caught it here. One thing I have noticed is that even between these different email, like you'll see that there's actually 2 that get notated here. And also sometimes for whatever reason, it won't carry through the email to the validated. That typically means that it might have failed the bounce test. What I'll do in a case like this is just kind of manually copy this email address over into the other column like I'm doing right now, because sometimes I do feel like even if it fails, it goes through. So just worth checking. I'm not going to run the rest of these because it'll take quite a while to do all 2,500 in this list, but now I have a really deep enriched list of both email addresses and LinkedIn contact that I can now use to reach out to these companies proactively, see if there's a fit, right? Like, why were they checking out our website? Do they need assistance? We do this on a weekly basis. It helps us really kind of fill out our pipeline. I'm not saying that this is a magic bullet that's going to get you, hundreds and hundreds of leads every single week, but it definitely helps fill in those gaps. Good luck.